All right, good afternoon. It is officially the first day, full day of spring. I was told yesterday that at 5:30 was when spring actually started, so we're here. We made it. It's rainy. It was beautiful outside yesterday, and in typical fashion, it's spring. It showers, and hopefully we'll get a whole bunch of flowers coming up here. So let's get on our conversation today. For lunch with the doc today, we're actually discussing ear infections with kids, ear infections with adults. It's a big topic, especially when we're seeing a lot of the children in the office. And it's one that parents really run to the doctors quickly, get prescribed antibiotics, they get tubes in their ears, and this just progresses and progresses over time. So let's talk about where our source is coming from today. It's actually coming from the National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. This study was done in the ear infections in children, 2017. The role of chiropractic adjustments in the care and treatment of 332 children with otitis media, or that ear infection. Journal of Clinical Chiropractic Pediatrics. This was done several years ago, but it was a huge controlled randomized test, and it was all about kids and their ear infections. So let's talk about this real quick. Ear infections are the most common reason parents bring their kids to the doctor. Nearly 5 out of 6 kids will experience at least one ear infection at some point in time by their 3rd birthday. There are a few reasons kids tend to get these ear infections. One is because of the small ear canals and ear tubes that are designed to help drain the fluid in the ear and are smaller and less angled than in adults. So we got some developmental stuff as well as just some size stuff based on the kids and the adults. And that's why a lot of kids outgrow the ear infection issue. Also, the kid's immune system plays a huge role in what's going on, and it's not fully developed yet. So it's challenged more when it gets to these infections. And with everything being right here in the ear as it's attacking it, it being close to the upper cervical, the atlas, it can really start to affect other parts of the body and become very uncomfortable. But remember from our other conversations, our other workshops, is that we don't do sick. We don't get sick. We don't get healthy. We do sick. We do healthy. And your body needs this workout every once in a while so it can rise to the level of an immune response that's appropriate. So congestion in the eustachian tube between the middle ear and throat can actually lead to a buildup of fluid and pressure, which can lead to an ear infection. My wife and I were going through this a few weeks ago with our daughter, where she was tugging and pulling at her ear and just screaming, trying to put her hand over her ear. And one of the things that we ended up doing was putting a whole bunch of rice into a sock, and you heat it up, and you put the rice on the outside of the ear, and it helps suck out some of the moisture, and the heat helps. There's garlic drops, and my wife and I were having a discussion on what we should do at this moment in time. And our daughter was definitely uncomfortable through this process, but I had to remind her that this is a natural process. This is the body doing healthy right now. I know it's not comfortable, but the temperature and what she's experienced, the body's doing healthy. And what do you know, lo and behold, the next day she was fine. She was ready to go, no problems, no issues. And that was our first hint that she might have an ear infection. My daughter's 4 years old and has never had any issues with her ear. So it was, we were out of our element for a moment, but we got back to the core basics. So, the body's self-healing, self-regulating, remove the interference. We adjusted the atlas. We gave her some garlic drops and let her rest it out. And what do you know, by the next day, she was ready to go. So antibiotics should only be prescribed when the ear infection has a bacterial cause. And that's something you need a blood test or some type of lab to determine. Researchers have found that a correlation between upper cervical adjustments and the resolution of ear infections in children, a huge correlation in that upper cervical connection with kids and their ear infections. So bottom lines, chronic ear infections, otitis media, can be really frustrating for both kids and their parents. It can be painful. One side, the kid is dealing with the painful inflammation and the fluid buildup in the middle ear, and the parents are dealing with it on the other end, trying to decide the best treatment. I mean, I was certainly there a couple weeks ago, and the best course of action. My recommendation is get them into your chiropractor. get their neck checked, find some garlic drops, and you can always use the rice in the ear, the rice in the sock trick. The big thing is though is that the American Academy of Pediatrics is discouraging jumping into trying to get antibiotics and getting prescription stuff right away. By exploring these natural remedies and treatments, many children can overcome the ear infections naturally without the side effects associated with a lot of the repetitive antibiotic use. So be sure to visit our Facebook page, share this. This is good information for kids and parents that have kids with chronic ear infections. Most of the time they've been told that there's only one way to go, and that's antibiotics and then tubes, and they don't know their options. So, share, and educate. That's the big thing here. So in traditional sense, with the research that matters, I want to say thank you for everybody tuning in today. And if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them up. But I can always get those questions later if it's not on a live session. And I do appreciate all the likes and the shares of the pages that have been going up. Our YouTube page is coming up here shortly, and these will be connected with there. So please check in on our YouTube page and shortly. And I look forward to sharing some more great stuff with you guys. So have a wonderful first day of spring. I'm proud of all of you for taking healthier steps in your life, and I'll see you guys next Thursday.